Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about one green flag for Pinterest stock investors, and that green flag is a focus and a commitment to expanding profit margins. Now you can see in recent quarters Pinterest's profit margin has turned around to the downside. What I have here is a chart of Pinterest's operating profit margin for the trailing 12 months and peaking at close to 20% during 2021 when demand was booming. It's now fallen to negative 12.07%. So I like that Pinterest management is focusing on profitability. So let's take a closer look at specifically how they plan to do this. So, starting with management saying, we're not a growth at all cost company, and our actions have proven that since I joined. Shortly after I arrived last summer, we took steps to significantly slow our pace of hiring. Right? So lowering staff headcount. Headcount is one of Pinterest's biggest expenses. So they additionally did a restructuring plan at the end of March. And as part of this restructuring, they reduced their real estate footprint by downsizing or completely closing several of our offices around the world, as our flexible work policies do not require this level of capacity. This is something that I was looking forward to in the early stages of the pandemic, as many companies like Pinterest announced that they were doing this work from home and this was going to be a long-term thing. It wasn't just during the pandemic after they saw better productivity and no loss of productivity. And so this, to me, it looked like a huge win-win situation, right? Companies could save a ton of money by not paying for real estate, office, commercial real estate, which can be expensive. Employees, they like it because now they don't have to commute to the office 5 days a week. So they're willing to accept lower pay if they know they can work remotely instead of showing up to the office. And so both sides of the equation win. Now, unfortunately, in recent months, companies have been saying, no, no, you know what? We're changing our minds on that. We want employees to come to the office for at least 3 days a week or 2 days a week. And I'm not a fan of that, right? If I'm a shareholder and the companies that I am a shareholder in, when they are announcing these things, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not happy about it. I'm less enthusiastic to invest in companies that are doing this. Now, I will say, I do agree that yes, having people come to the office in person will increase collaboration and productivity. I agree with that. However, I don't think the benefits of that are enough to justify the significantly higher costs of having people come to the office. It's not just the commercial real estate rent that you have to pay, but it's, computers and equipment that you need to provide for workers to come into the office. You got to pay for maintenance, you got to pay the power bill, you got to pay for parking, you got to pay for all of these other costs associated with bringing people to the office. So I don't think the benefits are anywhere near the costs of doing that. So I'm happy to see Pinterest still capitalizing on this opportunity to lower costs and make it a more attractive company to attract workers who may be turned off from other tech companies that are now requiring people to come to the office. So in addition to that, they made a 4% reduction in workforce in early February. So reduction in workforce is another word for layoffs. So combined with the downsizing of real estate, you can start to see a meaningful benefit in profit margins starting in the back half of this year to the beginning of next year. So management is saying we're committed to delivering meaningful margin expansion this year, even if the demand environment takes longer to improve. Even if demand takes longer to improve. So that's really good news. And the final thing I'll talk about is that they've taken steps to enhance safety, especially for minors. In March, we made it mandatory for users to provide their birth dates so we can provide age appropriate features and functionality. I like that management is framing this as a safety feature. Oh, we want to protect minors. But it also has this benefit that now Pinterest gets more data on its users And if it has more data on its users, it can better target advertising, which marketers are always willing to pay higher prices for if they know more about the user, right? If they know somebody is 30 years old, they're more interested in delivering certain kinds of advertisements to that user versus if they know somebody is 65 years old. So the difference in age tells marketers what types of products and services that person is interested in, making them a more uh, valuable prospect. So I like that they're framing it as a safety issue, but on the as a consequence, it's going to provide them more data that they can market. All right, but that's all I've got for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.